Morning. It is 6:43 a.m. here in Houston, Texas. It is October 11th, 2019, and I make these recap videos for the week, largely for my leadership team, my business partners that I'm in business with here, and mainly real estate investments and things like that. Yet lately, I've been making these videos and sharing them with as many people as I can, just because I love helping as many people as I can. So our topic and our theme this week has been around leadership. So I work more on the culture of my businesses than I do on the business side of my businesses, like the financial sides of it. We do get into numbers, we do get into money and sales and all that stuff. Yet I believe that culture is what really drives operations, and if your culture isn't right, nothing is right. So this week we talked about leadership. Um, a lot of people believe that leadership, they think of like a boss or a manager or someone who leads followers. And just through different coachings and trainings, and just my philosophy is, especially from John Maxwell trainings and things like that, is, true leader does not create followers. They are creating more leaders. And you see, I got that little um, post right here on that little meme on that. Um, so yeah, people, it's not about creating more followers. And the reason why I dig more in that than anything else is understanding business, understanding people, understanding human beings, is that when you create more followers, followers require you as a leader to continue coming back, guiding them again and saying, oh, you have to do this or you have to do that or change this or whatever it may be. When you truly empower people, you don't give them a job, you give them empowerment, and you give them freedom, and you give them so much more. So creating other leaders means you're going to go out there and give someone the skills and the ability to take another human being and have them become the next leader and the next leader and the next leader. Creating followers, in essence, almost is like you create people that always remain below you on a level. Creating leaders means, I live a life of abundance, and I'm creating people or helping them create themselves to a level that may surpass me. And I'm cool with that. I love that. Everybody that's come through my organization, that the ones that stay here, especially, I love them. And the ones that leave, I love to see them go on and do amazing things, create huge businesses, empires, whatever it is, because I believe they come from the school of the Ask Ozzy, or the school of Ozzy, where I love to train, lead, and motivate and help those people get to where they're going. So in creating leaders, that's just one of the things is, as you create them, you have to realize that sometimes they're going to leave, sometimes their vision is going to change, and you can be selfish and you can feel hurt about it, or you can say, you know what, that's exactly what I set out to do for that person, because being a leader means you have to be selfless. You have to take people and lift them up to a point where you just say, you know what, it doesn't matter where you end up going, as long as it is truly making you happy, you're accomplishing things you want to. And sometimes that means we don't stay in business anymore, and there's nothing wrong with that. So being a leader does not mean you're creating followers. It means you are helping create more leaders and showing people and empowering people. Now, the other thing, one of the most powerful things I've learned about being a leader is that when you create other leaders, in essence, each time you create a leader, truly it's like creating a small business. And what I mean by that is, if you create a follower, you've given someone a task they can take off your hands, and it does free up your time. Yet, um, it doesn't go out there and grow exponentially. So what I mean by that is, if you create a leader will go out and create more leaders and even some followers, but more and more leaders, and it becomes exponential. So that leader can go and, in essence, become you, and they begin growing your business bigger and bigger and bigger. Sometimes a follower who's not a leader doesn't know how to become exponential, meaning they're not pouring into people and growing other people to where maybe your organization stay stagnant for a while, because you're not hiring the right people. You're not hiring and pouring into leaders. You're hiring and pouring into employees and followers, and those people won't grow your business exponentially. They won't grow themselves exponentially. Other people that are coming to them to become new leaders. So creating a leader can give you back two amazing things. It can give you back more time and more money than you could ever imagine. So if you hire a really really good person, or you go into business with a really really good person, and you train them and you build them up and you pour into them and you coach them to become a leader, that person can go out and do the same with others. And that's how organizations become much stronger, more powerful. When an organization fails to grow, most of the time that organization begins to die. So if you're not growing, meaning you're not always trying to um, just grow your talent. And I just don't mean a number. So we're not just going from 50 people to 1,000 people. I mean, sometimes it means you're with 50 people for a while, but maybe you're doing what's called top grading, where you're saying, you know what, maybe this person wasn't a good fit for our culture. We're going to let them go, and we're going to bring in somebody who we believe is a more fit for our culture, who's a better leader, who's a better business partner, and grow that person. And when you begin to do things like that, not just with numbers going from 50 to 1,000 people, when you're going from 50 good people to 50 amazing or great people, um, that just forces what we call the bubble to grow. What you're doing is you're bringing in people that are going to keep challenging the leadership, that are going to keep challenging the status quo, that are going to push the limits of your customer service for your business. They're going to push the limits for the sales growth of your business, all those things, and it just gets better. So if you are hiring leaders instead of just employees, or if you're hiring, or if you're getting into business with business partners instead of just employees, you're going to realize that that is going to help to bring in one of the most powerful things, which is it's going to bring you more time to yourself, because they're going out and doing the things that you were doing. And they're also going to bring you exponential dollars, because they're going out and finding more people that are growing this business with you. Another thing in becoming a leader is understanding that, I said it before and I'll say this a million times, you have to let go and you have to be selfless as a leader. If you want to really grow leaders, if you want to really grow a business and you want to empower people, they're going to make mistakes. They're gonna screw stuff up. It's just natural. I don't care who you are. I don't care how perfect you think you are. Either you're making mistakes or you're not growing. And as far as I'm concerned, mistakes are basically proof of growth. Now, mind you, if you're bringing on these people and they continue to make the same mistake, that's not okay. If you make a mistake, you grow for it. You create a system, or you create something to never let that mistake happen again. That's a good thing, because now you can create that system for everybody else down the line, so we don't continue making that mistake. And in actuality, a lot of those mistakes, they don't just cause you to fix the problem, they cause you to better the problem, better the issue that was causing the problem, and saying, you know what, this is why it happened, because A. So now we know, if we fix A and then we upgrade B and C, that D will become the greatest byproduct of what we're trying to do here, and it just makes the business better. But in the process of growing these leaders, you have to understand they're going to let you down every once in a while, and you can't browbeat them, and you can't beat them up and throw them to the wolves, and just write them off because they're making mistakes. If you believe they are the right person, you have to have patience with them, and you have to have understanding, and you have to understand that sometimes they're going to lose money. I've had people in my organization that they come in, they make a mistake that costs us like $15,000, $20,000. And there was an instance where someone they were kind of upset, and they came to me and they said, I'm really sorry. We just lost I think it was around 9,000, honestly. We just lost a deal that cost us about $9,000, and they were really upset, and I felt she was going to cry. And I looked at her and I said, let me ask you a question. She goes, okay. And I said, do I look upset to you? She goes, no. And I go, I'm smiling, right? Like I'm happy. And she goes, yeah. And I go, I appreciate you caring so much that this upsets you. But here's the deal is I'm not going to fire you. In fact, like this is you going to school. This is your education. This is you understanding, like, look, you made a $9,000 mistake. Fix it, create a system that doesn't let it happen again, and earn that $9,000 back for the company. Like bring it back to us, and understand that I just invested $9,000 in your education. Like I love you. I want you to succeed, and we can do this together. And that's a very difficult thing to do. I actually learned, I felt like I always had that kind of feeling about human beings in me, because I just love seeing people grow, and I believe mistakes are a part of that. Yet, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Carnegie. If you haven't read that book, read that book. He talks about a guy losing $1 million, and he comes in and he thinks he's going to get fired. And he says, no, I just invested $1 million in your education. I might have butchered that story, yet it goes along those lines. So in being a leader, You have to understand that, if this person can do it, if they're a great person, you believe they're the right person, and their attitude's there and everything's moving the right direction, and they can do it, you know 60, 70% as good as you can do it. It's your job to get them to 80 or 90% and then let go. Like, let go, just let them do it. The problem with a lot of leaders, especially in businesses, is letting go often means you let go maybe of a sales position or a financial benefit for yourself. And at first, it's hard for people to see it. It's hard for people to see, um, oh, wow, now I'm letting this person take on that job for me, or that sales position, or these commissions. And the immediately they see, like, oh, that's probably 30 deals a year. That's worth a good 70, $80,000 for me and my family. Um, I don't feel right giving that up. Yet if you create a business and a system with that person to say, look, we're going to start off and I'm going to give you this much percentage of those deals. And as you get better, and once I feel like you've really taken it on, I'm going to give you this much of those deals. And it's much bigger. And I get the smaller piece and you get the bigger piece. And then you're good. You go. I'm just going to continue loading you up with those type of deals, and you're going to continue generating your own business. And now we've got something that is exponential for us as a leader. That person is now going out there, and we trust them, and we know that they're going to get the job done at a high level for our clients to keep on turning more business. But most people won't get to that point because, number one, they're too selfish and they won't let go. And number two, they're not patient enough to let that person fail forward and become that business partner they need to become. So they never get to that point. So, to sum it all up, to be a leader is to create more leaders. You don't want to keep creating employees, because that just ends you up in the same job. You have to be a manager of people for the rest of your life. When you create leadership, you actually begin leading higher and higher levels and higher calibers of people. So it challenges you to become a better leader, challenges you to become a better business person. It challenges you, honestly, when you have those really talented people and leaders, to grow your vision of the future. And if you don't grow a bigger vision of the future, those talented people, when their dream outgrows your dream, they will leave. And that's why just continuing to grow and find more leaders and grow the culture of your company is the most important thing you can do. But you always got to be growing as well, or you'll end up being outgrown and they'll end up leaving you, and it can be more painful than it really has to be. So that's another charge of a leader as well, is I have to continue growing the opportunity within my business to continue um, helping these talented people grow their life and their family life and their dollars and everything they want to accomplish, or we'll end up getting out of business together. So it forces me into a lot of uncomfortable situations when I'm hiring the right people, when I'm empowering them to become leaders, when I'm patient with them when they make their mistakes, and when they're challenging me and the company status quo for us to become better at what we're doing. So leadership, create more leaders, empower people. It's the greatest way to get a better return on time and money when it's all said and done. Understand that you have to let them fail forward. You have to believe in them and trust in them. And you ultimately have to be extremely selfless to be a great leader. And it's something I'm working on every single day. So I hope you guys got something from this video. I hope it poured into you. I hope it grew your mind a little bit. If you guys ever need anything, give me a shout. I love helping people as much as possible. Have an amazing day, and remember to feed the good wolf. Take it easy, guys. Bye bye.